Brian VANDUYN here. I just got done working a, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least a half day, 12 hours. The other day, you can see from the thumbnail, we had an exhaust bracket that was broken, or not a bracket, it's one of the pipes that goes to the DPF filter. It's one of those titanium flexible, they're called, what the heck are they called? Not baffles. So the B. What's up? So basically, you can see the pipe came from there, and it connects underneath way over there. You can see the hole. So we got the doghouse. We got the pipe off. It's off. So here it is, broken. This right here was broke. This is like the flexible part. Very flexible. Like, look how flexible that is, guys. I already cut it and took it off. Right? So, 2 days ago, or a day ago, is when I noticed it was broke. And I thought that might have been part of the popping noise. Or definitely some sort of grinding noise. You know, the two tubes getting on each other. So I was thinking that might be it. So the dealer, so I called up the dealer and I said, hey, I'm looking for an exhaust tube that is, lighting sucks right there. I'm looking for an exhaust tube. It goes basically, comes out of the back end of the DPF filter, and they're like, oh yeah, it's, I think it's this one. And the guy's like, you don't want to know how much it is. And I'm like, well, it's just a little flexible piece of exhaust. I mean, it can't be that much, 100, 200 bucks. He's like, you don't want to know how much it is. Let me send you the picture to make sure I'm looking at this right. We think it's the right one, right? So he sent the picture, and the one he sent me wasn't the right one. It was like a 5-inch one of these. And I'm like, no, it's not the big one. It's like a smaller, like a 2.5 inch. He's like, oh, okay. You're definitely not going to know the price of this one. And so he tells me, so just this pipe right here, just this pipe, $2,000. Just this one pipe from the dealership. $2,000. Okay. And I said, for an exhaust pipe, $2,000? He's like, yep. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, it's just an pipe with a flexible spot. He's like, yep, $2,000. And I said, whew, that's a little steep. Man, I don't know if I can do that. And I said, okay, well, how much is just the flexible piece? Because that's all I really need. I could weld the flexible piece onto both ends. And he said, $800. $800 just for this piece of titanium. It's an exhaust. It's flexible, right? $800 for just this. And so I said, well, what's the part number, you know? And give me a quote number, you know? So if I do decide to do this, we can get it, you know, quick. And he gave me the part number. So I went on the internet. I started looking. I started calling everybody up. I said, okay, this is It's not a baffle. What is it called? It's bellows, air bellows. So this is an air bellow. This is called a bellow right here. And so I called everybody. I'm like, okay, I'm looking for air bellow. Nobody could come up with the part number. I'm like, man, International has got this on lockdown. You know, Navistar, they hold on to their part numbers really well. Stupid flies everywhere. What happens when it gets hot out? They start annoying everybody. And so nobody could find it. So $2,000, Blake, for just this exhaust pipe right here from International. $2,000. Just this part. Just this part right here, $800 from Navistar. And I said, no, what's the part number? Found it on for $400, just this piece. It's a really flexible, it's titanium, right? It's very flexible. But anyways, it's a double TrueFlex Metal Hose, LLC. I should have called them up directly and said, hey, how much for this TrueFlex? Of course, I didn't know they were a business till just now. But I got this from finditparts.com for $400. I was literally looking for anything that looked like this on the internet. I even typed in, I said, flexible exhaust pipe. And a few of these came up. So that's how I found out it was called the air bellows. Did the bellows blow out on the turbos? This is not connected to the turbos. This pipe isn't, I don't think. This pipe was connected to the back of this Jeep and goes right up into that hole on the back of the motor. Yeah, it's meant to flex. It's meant to, it's a heat exchanger also. It's made out of titanium. It's a double layered titanium pipe. Double layered. So, I got it off. It only took like 15 minutes to take it off. How determined are you to save money? How determined are you? So just this pipe alone is $2,000. If I would have taken that to the dealer, how much you think they would have charged me to replace that? If that is $2,000 from the dealer, how much? And they're going to buy that whole pipe and just replace just that small piece. They don't do that. They're like, oh, the whole thing's worn out, so we just got to replace the whole thing. So, yeah, exactly, Blake. And so, anyways, $3,000 probably is what the dealership would have charged to fix something like this. And I can fix it in 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, for $400 with my generator, right? I suppose I could have plugged that into my extension cord that's connected to the camper, but I had my music playing, right? So I just plugged it into the generator. I'm pretty used to using the generator now anyways. So how determined are you when it comes to saving money? You know, a lot of people ask me, Brian, how do you have 3 trucks? How do you have all this stuff so quick? How did you pay cash for everything? It's really simple, guys. Like, if you're determined enough to save money by doing, you know, fixes like this, this is how you save your arm and your leg and, as Blake would say, your nut. You know, this is how you save money right here, guys. all it literally was is 2 7/16 nuts. That's it. 2 7/16 nuts to get that pipe off. Okay, I had to take more than that. I took 3 of those 10mm bolts out just to get the doghouse off. And then it was only 2 7/16. 7/16. Right there. Bottle of water to cool it down before I grabbed it out of there. Bada boom, bada bing. Right? So, how determined are you to save money? You know, that's what it comes down to. Guys, what are you guys willing to do to save some money and to keep your truck on the road? You know, because here's the thing. A normal guy would have been like, oh, I can't replace that. I can't do that. I even thought about it myself. I'm like, is this something I should pay somebody to do? Like, I thought about it for a little bit. And I'm like, it only looks like 2 nuts. Like, that's got to be easy. You know? But most owners will be like, I can't do that. I can't do that. So they would have paid $3,000 and they would have lost $1,000 for a day because they would have downed the truck for a whole day, let it at a dealer. Maybe 2 days or 3, you know, like, hey, let me drop the truck off really so I can hop on this. And then, you know, 3 days later, they finally get to it. What's up, Joey? What's up, man? Buy this whole pipe. If you buy this from an aftermarket, it costs you $400 just for this. So that's what I did. Here's one piece. And there's the other piece. So this thing definitely was on its way out for a long time. And it might have been broken for a while. Right? So that's how it goes together. You can see the outside layer was cracked right there. Look right there. There's another hole right there. You know? So, that's the air bellows right there. Air bellows exhaust. Yeah, it's out the International. With a cold welder. I'm just going to weld it up with my 40-year-old Miller. My 1970s Miller. I think it's the 70s, or maybe it's an 80s. I think it might be an 80s. This old generator welder, I'm just going to weld it up with this. I don't know if I should use 6011 or 7018. I don't think it really matters, probably. What's up, Heavy Wrench? How you been, brother? I like that that umbrella with the crane. That was cool, man. Yeah, the 7018. That's what I was thinking, Blake. Just clean it up real good and hit it with that. Hey, Phil, International wanted $2,000 for this pipe. $2,000, man. So I bought just this air bellows for $400 on the internet. I just can't believe that the dealer wants that much for just that little piece of exhaust pipe. When they're willing to charge $2,000 for an exhaust pipe that's not even 5 feet long, they know they got you by the nuts. They know they got you by the nuts. It's the titanium price. Yeah, but both of these are steel. Both of those are steel, I bet. I mean, they feel heavy. They feel like steel to me. You had to turn off your Britney Spears. If you listen to Britney Spears, I don't know if you should be watching my stream. I sure as heck wasn't expecting $2,000 for that pipe, Joey. That's what I wasn't expecting. I can tell you that right now. So, anyways, it just blows my mind, the cost of some of these parts. Yeah. I wonder how much parts trucks would be right now. Did I check Fleet Pride? Yep, checked Fleet Pride. They didn't. They could get me one, but it was out of state or something. They said it was out of state. They would have to order it. I didn't ask them just about the bellows though. Anyways, ready to be welded on. So, anyways, guys, I just wanted to tell you, you know, you gotta be determined to save money when you're running a business. You gotta be determined, and you gotta be willing to just jump into things that, you know, you may not know everything, right? But you're never gonna know everything at the beginning of anything. You have to jump into it. You have to try. You have to screw up. You have to fail, you know, to learn anything. You have to trip and stumble before you can know anything, guys. You know, so I mean, if this would have happened when I first broke, if this was my first truck and this thing got broke, I probably would have called somebody and said, "Hey, I need you to replace this. I don't know what it is or whatever, what, you know." Most people would just say, "Oh, you're going to have to pay somebody." You know? But that's what happens most of the time. Fake it till you make it. Amen. That's where it's at. You got to fake it till you make it. Yeah. It ain't that thin. Blake, it's got a collar on it. So it's not that thin. It's got a collar on it on both sides. And the nice thing is, the way I cut this, the other weld is still there. So I'm just going to be passing right over this weld. You know? Yeah, so it shouldn't be that bad. Like, I got a lot of heat. I got a lot of heat sink right here because this whole weld is here still. So I'll put the arc on this weld and just flow it right in there. The bellows are titanium, Phil. JB Weld. Yeah, I know, Blake. That's the one thing I'm most worried about is the orientation of it. Remember, grinder and paint make you the welder you ain't. Yeah, you ain't going to want to paint that. It's going to get too hot. It'll just burn it right off. So, you know what they say, you know. Good welders suck at grinding, and good grinders suck at welding. Yeah, I bet he would, Joey. I heard some of his stuff breaking before. Yeah, 7018 will be fine. It'll be smooth as a baby's bottom, hopefully. That's why you're so good at grinding. Yep. That's what she said. Anyways. All right, guys. I just wanted to pop in and just tell you, you know, have some, you know, courage in doing these kind of repairs. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, just dive in head first, and you'll learn. If nothing else, you'll learn. You know, and hopefully it don't cost you too much. Yeah, you too. Get back to Britney Spears for me. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, exactly what Blake said. You got nothing to lose most of the time. When you see the prices they want to charge you, you got nothing to lose. So go for it. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.